Hello, mamas. You already know what I'm going to talk about today. We have witnessed one of the most intergenerational, incredible, historic beefs and dramas of our lifetime. This is a rap beef, and I understand that rap and hip-hop isn't exactly up the alley of a lot of y'all, so I'm putting this into Fortnite terms to make sure it's accessible for everyone, because this is truly one of the most historic beefs, okay? Throw out the window whatever drama you've ever seen in the past that you thought was big. This is the biggest shit ever. This is drama that resulted in 14 diss tracks, I believe, in total. No, that's fucking too much. It's like 10 maybe. Started off from petty insults to literal PDF file allegations. I fucking know. I know. I made a whole podcast episode before, like, don't say sewer slide, don't say corn, like, but I think you actually cannot say that word on this platform. So, but you know what the fuck I'm talking about. Drake liking little girl. Okay, so I'm gonna be your guide. Hold my fucking hand. Grab my hand. I'm gonna walk you through this whole drama, this whole feud. I will explain it all, and I'm in a position to fucking explain it all because I have been a Kendrick fan since I was 15, and I have been a Drake stan since I was like 13 because I am fucking Canadian. Duh! Mind you, I do have a side, which I think hopefully once you see the whole picture, you will be able to choose a side, and you will see who's the fucking rightful winner. So, this beef started in pretty much when Drake's album For All the Dogs came out. This was like, I think technically last year. The song where there's one bar in specific which I think is kind of the catalyst for this whole thing. J. Cole claims, so this starts off, it's a song Drake and J. Cole are on. And J. Cole claims that the big three in the rap industry, okay, the top three, best three artists alive is Drake, Kendrick Lamar, and J. Cole. It was almost like said to be a compliment. Like, I think it could almost have been taken as a compliment, but it's simply not true. And Kendrick Lamar knows that. And I think a lot of people know that. These are all great artists, okay? Drake is obviously probably the biggest rapper in terms of streams, fucking net worth, all of that. J. Cole has such a dedicated fan base. The people that fuck with J. Cole, like, fuck with J. Cole. But Kendrick Lamar literally has a Pulitzer Prize, which is, like, usually only given for literature because he's, like, such an incredible fucking, like, writer and songwriter, not to mention rapper, not to mention, like, artist and fucking all that. So I already knew, I like, when I heard that bar, when it first came out, I was like, come on now, come the fuck on. There's no big three. It's just big Kendrick, you little silly fucking goose. But I thought nothing would come of it. I thought, because I feel like it could be taken as a compliment. March 22nd, 2024. Here we fucking go, mamas. Future and Metro Boomin release a joint album called We Don't Trust You. And on there is a song called Like That. You may recognize that is the fucking sound that was heard across the nation on March 22nd. This song had a surprise feature from Kendrick Lamar where he calls J. Cole and Drake bums and says there is no big three, there is just big me, along with a bunch of other fucking, like, disses, sneak disses. It was fucking crazy. It was so out of the blue. Kendrick Lamar, to explain kind of how he is, he's not a public person. He's not like 99% of celebrities that have like a digital presence, or any presence at all. This motherfucker does not do interviews. He doesn't, like, people don't really see him in public. And I think there's an argument to be had that kind of adds to his persona of being like mysterious. It's almost like the Playboy Cardi effect, how I like talked about this in a previous episode, how like Playboy Cardi, since we don't see as much of him, he almost feels like higher quality and like more important, where to compared to like a rapper that, or like an artist that's like singing, not singing, what the fuck am I trying to say, that's like promoting their music all the time, and you like see them like fucking 8 times a day. You're obviously gonna think Playboy Cardi is more kind of like higher echelon because you don't see much of them. Kendrick Lamar is this to the fucking max. This man does not tweet. This man does not post on Instagram. This man does not do interviews. You only hear his music, and his music is sparse, okay? This motherfucker drops an album like once every 4 years, and it's always incredible, in my humble opinion. It's always so fucking good. But so this was crazy to see Kendrick just hop on this song out of nowhere. It fucking blew me away. So April 13th, almost like 20 days after, Drake releases a song called Push-Ups. In this, he claims, you're not in any big... He says, you ain't in no big 3. SZA got you wiped down. Travis got you wiped down. Savage got you wiped down. Like your label boy, you in a scope right now, and you're going to feel the aftermath of what I write down. He's claiming that Kendrick Lamar isn't even in the fucking top 3. Like, all these other artists are so much bigger than him. And I have some theories on what Drake's kind of mindset is. I'll get into it now. I feel like the main difference between these two artists is Kendrick is a person of quality and Drake is a person of quantity. Drake is someone that you never fucking stop seeing. He's always on like a Kick live stream. He's releasing like albums twice a year sometimes, even though half the time they're shit. Kendrick Lamar is someone who you never see, and he puts everything into like a few records, and they're amazing, and they're like fucking timeless. Drake just releases like slop. It's like Burger King versus like a Michelin-starred restaurant, in my fucking opinion. I'm sounding like such a music nerd, but I have to let it be said. So I think Drake truly like perceives this beef and like does the mental gymnastics that he's the bigger artist because he gets more streams and because his net worth is like close to a fucking billion. Kendrick Lamar is nowhere close to that. His net worth is probably like 100 million. He doesn't get the streams that Drake does. He I think probably has very few songs with like 1 billion streams. So coming from Drake, looking at Kendrick looks like a smaller artist. But when you're Kendrick, someone who values like creativity and quality and morals and not being a fucking PDF file downloader, you're gonna look at Drake and think he's the goofy one. So a lot of the shots in this push-up song that Drake released was like petty. It wasn't anything too crazy. Like the biggest thing was he was calling him short. Like the fucking cover art is the shoe size for a men's US 7 shirt or shoe. So like there's that. And then 6 days later on April 19th, this is where it starts to get bad. Drake releases, or kind of like leaks, the Tailor-Made Freestyle. This was another diss track. What file just fucking downloaded on my computer? What the hell was that? Drake releases a song, another diss track, but he includes a fucking AI-generated Tupac verse. Tupac is, for all the new fucking hip-hop heads out there, Tupac is typically regarded as one of the best rappers of all time. And his legacy is something that is like very respected. And Drake comes in and AI generates his fucking voice to make a verse. Nasty. And the song got taken down. I can't remember if someone else took it down or he took it down, but regardless, it's important to note that the Tupac estate, okay, I don't know if it's the family like members of Tupac or just like whoever was put in charge of his estate, literally said like this is fucking goofy. Essentially, they're like, what the hell? So April 30th, Kendrick Lamar releases his own first diss track. This was not a feature on anyone's album. He fucking put this shit on Spotify, put this shit on YouTube. It's called Euphoria. It's a damn near 7-minute song. And by the way, Euphoria, Kendrick Lamar does like double, triple, quadruple entendres where certain bars, certain words will have like 4 different meanings. So like he named this song Euphoria. It's a feeling of well-being or elation, which is kind of how he was feeling while people were already starting to turn on Drake when Kendrick hadn't even had to like release a fucking diss track. Drake is just goofy enough. Euphoria is also the song the show that Drake produced. I'm trying to think of all the other things. Like there's a whole fucking iceberg to dive into it. So he comes for Drake's parenting. Says that he got plastic surgery, and you're probably thinking, what fucking plastic surgery did Drake get? Says Drake has fake abs. Makes fun of him using AI. It's crazy. If there's one of them that you should listen to, I think it's this one. It's a truly incredible diss track. There's a whole discussion on how Kendrick kind of comes for Drake's skin tone, being light skin, being mixed. Literally ends the diss track saying, "We don't want to hear you say the N-word no more." Crazy. Like, eviscerated him. So, and then 3 days later, releases another one. This one's just on like Playboy Cardi style, just on Instagram, like a fucking Instagram reel called 616 in LA. I will say this is one of the weaker ones of what Kendrick released. It kind of just like no one really it's been a few days since this all kind of subsided. No one really like references this that much, but he alludes that he has moles inside of Drake's camp. So he has people that work for Drake that are feeding information, like literally spying on Drake and like reporting it back to Kendrick. So, and a big thing about this one was the cover art included like, it was like a picture from Drake's like personal something. Like it's like a t-shirt of his and a glove, his own medication, some receipts. So it's kind of like proof that like Kendrick has people on the inside that are like feeding him information. It's crazy. He says, have you ever thought OVO was working for me? Fake bully, I hate bullies. You must be a terrible person. Everyone inside your team is whispering that you deserve it. So alluding that people are fucking turning on Drake in his own camp. Whew. The same fucking day, Drake comes out with an 8-minute song and music video called Family Matters. The music video for this, by the way, is... Kendrick has a classic album called Good Kid, Mad City, and on the cover is like a Dodge Caravan, which I used to drive, so this was like kind of hard to see. But Drake, the music video is him, or I don't know if it's Drake, but like someone taking this van to a shop yard and crushing the fucking van. It's so crazy. And then later on in the music video goes to a restaurant called New Ho King, I think, which is a Toronto restaurant, which Kendrick referenced in Euphoria, saying that he could eat there because he's like respected anywhere. He can even go to Toronto, Drake's hometown, and eat at this like popular restaurant, and like he'll be fine. So in this song, the actual song of Family Matters, Drake alleges that Kendrick Lamar's child was fathered by Kendrick's manager, Dave Free. Holy shit. He claims that Kendrick Lamar is abusive to his wife. He literally says, when you put your hands on your girl, is it self-defense because she's bigger than you, ? So, holy moly. Then we have Meet the Grams. Sorry, I fucked up. I will say something. The 6:16 a.m. in LA track, that was a zoomed in cover art version. The full cover art version is the one with all the pills, but that was it for the song Meet the Grahams. So Meet the Grahams released May 4th, the fucking day after Drake released Family Matters. Follow along here, follow along. Kendrick releases the most bone-chilling fucking song I've ever seen. On websites like Album of the Year, this song is rated the best song of all fucking time. It is a horrific, disgusting song just tearing apart Drake. It's like, it's in 3 parts. The first part is Kendrick's directly speaking to Drake's son, saying how bad of a father Drake is. There's 4 parts. The second part is referencing his mom, just kind of like also saying how shitty of a son Drake is. Third part, Kendrick is speaking directly to Drake's alleged 11-year-old daughter. Some rap beef history. There was a song, when Pusha T and Drake had beef, Pusha T released a song called The Story of Adidon and exposed that Drake had a child. And that is how we know that Drake's son Adonis exists. That motherfucker would probably still be completely under the radar if it wasn't for that one song. It was a brutal diss track. And then here we fucking go again. Kendrick seemingly exposed that Drake has a hidden daughter. Now, right after, Drake said, nah, hold on. Can someone find my hidden daughter, please, and send her to me? These guys are in shambles. Kendrick exposes that Drake is on Ozempic. That is another one you just have to listen to. Like, listen to the fucking beat. It's insane. It sounds like a fucking horror movie. It's crazy. And then finally, in the last part of it, Kendrick directly speaks to Drake and just shits all over him once again. Then not even 24 hours later, Kendrick Lamar releases the craziest fucking track. People were shitting on the track before. Like, there was a lot of discourse on Twitter of people being like, oh my God, that was the darkest thing I've ever heard in my fucking life. Like, holy shit, on the most scary sounding beat I've ever heard, Drake is literally coming straight for his, like, children. Crazy. And then not even 24 hours, we get this shit. A song that you can fucking boogie down to. A true West Coast fucking hip-hop ass song. The cover art is a Google image picture of Drake's house with the fucking sex offender pins on it. And there's obviously been so much talk in the past about Drake being creepy. Him talking to Millie Bobby Brown when she was 16. Him inviting a 17-year-old fan on stage and be like, oh my God, I can't believe she's 17. She's so voluptuous. Just so many. He's like the James Charles of rap. Sorry. So Kendrick just fucking lets it loose. There is a line which will ring through hip-hop history forever. He says, certified lover boy, certified pedophile. And then goes, wah, 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 wah. It's fucking crazy. He says, say Drake, I hear you like him young. You better not ever go to cell block 1. And then says, trying to strike a chord, and it's probably A minor. He fully references the use of AI to make Tupac's voice. He says, you think the Bay gonna let you disrespect Pac, as in Tupac? I think that Oakland show gonna be your last stop. This was the moment where Drake was ended. I just want to say, Drake did release a song after that, and we'll get to it in just a second, but Kendrick pulled out every fucking stop, okay? He showed versatility. He showed fucking quickness. Like, he released all of this so fast and in such quick succession. It was insane. And these are like incredible songs. Like beef aside, like the way they're put together, it's bonkers. It's truly bonkers. So then on May 5th, one day later, today, or no, that wasn't today. That was fucking 2 days ago. I'm losing. Oh, it's midnight. Okay, so it's 12:01. I'm getting fucked up. Drake releases The Heart Part 6. The title, by the way, comes from Kendrick Lamar. Like, usually when he's about to release a record, he'll release a song called The Heart Part Blank. So when he was releasing Damn, he released a song called The Heart Part 4 right before. When he released his newest album, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, he released The Heart Part 5. So Drake, playing off of that, titles the song The Heart Part 6. And this is where this is where Drake dug his fucking grave. Drake alleges that the hidden daughter rumor, the rumor that he has an 11-year-old daughter, was started by his own team to bait Kendrick. And that could be true. It could fully be true that Kendrick fell for that. Then Drake goes to the accusations of him being a pedophile and addresses them in probably the worst fucking way possible. He says shit like, he brings up Millie Bobby Brown when no one was talking about Millie Bobby Brown. So that's just fucking telling in itself. Kendrick not once mentioned Millie Bobby Brown. Okay? Drake just brought her up. So let that speak fucking volumes. Drake, he says, I'm going to paraphrase because I don't have the lyric in front of me. Actually, fuck it. Let me get the lyric in front of me because I have a fucking internet connection and I can look this shit up. Like, what am I doing? Professional podcaster over here. By the way, when Kendrick's Euphoria song came out, it literally crashed like the Genius website, like the fucking lyric website. So Drake says, speaking of anything with a child, let's get to that now. This Epstein angle was the shit I expected. TikTok videos you collected and dissected. Instead of being on some disdirect shit, you rather fucking grab your pen and misdirect shit. Then, he says, only fucking with Whitney's, not Millie Bobby Brown's. I'd never look twice at no teenager. So, like, does that mean you'd look once? Like, what the fuck does that mean? Drake starts to attack Kendrick. Okay, this is going to be a little hard to, like, wrap your head around. But in one of the last songs on Kendrick's most recent album, he speaks on sexual violence that his family experienced. He speaks about his mother's experience with it. And when he mentions it in this song, a lot of people kind of misinterpreted it that he himself experienced it. And I think a lot of it is also up for interpretation, but I think it's pretty clear that he was talking about other people in his family experiencing sexual violence. But Drake, the fucking idiot that he is, starts saying, "Aw, fuck me, I made the whole connection. This about to get so depressing. This is trauma from your own confessions. This when your father leave you home alone with no protection, so neglected. That's why these PDF file raps and shit you so obsessed with, it's so excessive." He starts almost making fun of Kendrick Lamar and saying that he's projecting by calling out Drake for his creepy behavior because Drake believes that Kendrick was molested. He says, "If I was fucking young girls, I promise I'd have been arrested. I'm way too famous for the shit you just suggested." What? Does Drake not realize that Epstein literally fucking exists? That there's so many famous and rich people that just do that, and it actually doesn't matter if you're rich or famous. You can still be a fucking scary freak PDF file. What is that fucking comeback? What the fuck is that comeback? Oh, I'm too famous. And that was it. The music video for Drake's The Heart Part 6, or just like the upload for it, is sitting at 66% dislikes and 33% likes. For reference, Kendrick Lamar's most recent diss track, Not Like Us, has a 99% likes and 1% dislikes. Drake is over and Drake is done. That's fucking it. Like, that's it. And throughout all of this, it's important to note that Drake was using ghostwriters the entire time. This man, as shitty as his diss tracks were, he needed help on them. Like, that was like a team of fucking 7 people trying to work on these, and they still sucked. And Kendrick Lamar did this shit all by himself and fucking cleared him. I will always be Team Kendrick. I think this was a watershed moment to show how fucking corny Drake is. One of the key points that Kendrick kept making was Drake is a great pop star. Drake can make good melodies, but he's not a serious rapper. He's not a serious artist in the hip-hop space. He'll never come close lyrically or delivery-wise or artistic-wise. He'll never come close to Kendrick. And that's where it comes full circle. Because that's what the original beef started with, was Drake alleging that he was one of the top 3 and Kendrick was like sharing that position with him. That's not the case. Throughout all of this, it showed that fucking Kendrick was always on top. Always on top. This shit was an insane few days on Twitter. I'm assuming it's done now. I don't think that Kendrick will reply again. I don't think he needs to. I think Drake made a fucking fool of himself enough that it's over. Like, literally, hashtag nah Drake was trending #1 for like the longest time. So insane. And it's been beautiful to see, because Kendrick Lamar is probably my favorite artist of all time. And seeing him put out this many fucking songs back to back has been incredible. I'm so fucking grateful for it. It's been good to see Drake kind of get put in his place a little bit, because something had to break. Drake, I feel like, is so artistically burnt out. He just releases these like slop albums back in like left, right, and center, and they just suck. And he's not a true artist anymore. Like, he's like a rapper as like a business. I don't even know like where I'm going with this, but it was fucking time. It was fucking time for him to have his day of reckoning. So I did interject a little bit of my opinion into that. Yes, I did, but I needed to, you know, just let y'all know, cuz listen, a lot of my friends aren't like into rap music like that and aren't invested as much as I am, and it was very confusing for them, understandable. So I just wanted to be the one to, you know, clue you in. But let's read this week's drama, okay? If you want to submit your drama to this podcast, please comment it down below on the YouTube video version of this podcast. Give me a question, okay? Just 1 or 2 sentences, something you need advice on, and I'll be your therapist for free. This is from Robin Quag 6781. Drama. My best friend girl is in a relationship. They both love each other, but the guy is too jealous of another guy. They both vent to me about their relationship and everything and ask about advice, which is not a problem, but their relationship has been taking a toll on my mental health. They both are my best friends, and I can't just let them break up. What the fuck do I do? Okay, challengers. It's never fun being like a third wheel, and especially not when you are like a middleman. That shit is not fun at all. I think the best thing to do is like distance yourself from them in terms of being someone who they can like come to advice for. Take a step back, say, hey, listen, I like y'all both. I fuck with y'all both. But I'm not the one. I'm not the one to come to for advice. You got to go to someone else. It's not going to be me. And if they break up, it's not your fucking fault because you're not. If you are the glue in their relationship, that's their fucking problem. Like, yikes. They need to go get some fucking Elmers. Then it looks like. But I'm wishing you the best. Good luck. And with that all being said, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you can understand the Drake and Kendrick beef. Should there be more diss tracks to be heard? And I'll see you all next Wednesday. Love y'all very much. Take care. Bye, my sweet mamas.